Hi, boys and girls. I promised you that I would read the story about the famous blizzard that happened when Miss Police was probably in the fifth grade. And probably some of your grandparents may remember this blizzard as well. It happened when I was about in the fifth grade, and the blizzard of 78 happened in February of 1978. And I can remember it very vividly because I was the perfect age. I was old enough to be able to go out in the snow and enjoy it, and old enough to remember it happening. Um, I remember my brother and I were home from school for many, many days because it was declared a state of emergency. There was so much snow that covered the ground, and the snow drifts were so high that they came up to the top of our car. That's how high the snow drifts were. I remember when we got up after the snow stopped falling, in the morning, we tried to open up our back door, and the snow completely covered the doorway. The drifts were that high, it completely covered the doorway. And I remember this. And I remember that there were no cars going on the street, not one car. The snow had gotten so high that the plows couldn't keep up, and the snow got higher and higher and higher, and it was too high to drive your car. So one day we saw someone on a ski mobile going by, and they were so nice. They came to each house and they said, "Do you need anything from the supermarket? We're going to take the ski mobile and we're going to drive it to the supermarket. And if you need some bread or if you need some milk, we'll go and get it for you on the ski mobile." So I want to tell you a little story about the blizzard, and it's called Blizzard. The author of this book, John Rocco, he actually grew up around the same time Miss Police did, and he experienced the blizzard of 78 as well. Let's hear about it from his perspective. Blizzard. One day when I was a young boy, nearly 4 feet of snow fell from the sky. This is my story. Blizzard. The first flake fell right before recess. It was followed by many, many more. That's a Monday. The wind whipped up and school closed early. By the time my sister and I got home, the snow was already over our boots. That's fast. That's a fast accumulation. The snow continued to fall through the night, and I thought that it would never stop. The next morning, now it's Tuesday, the snow drifts were so high we couldn't open our front door. So we went out the window instead. Luckily, I could get out of the front door. It was the back door we couldn't get out of. We laughed as we sank deep into the frozen powder, but walking was hard. It was like trying to move through quicksand. Every few steps, I had to stop and rest. It was even too deep for our sled. Oof. When we went back inside, we were cold, wet, and tired. We made camp by the wood stove, and our feet tingled as we sipped hot cocoa made with milk. Mm. On the third day, Dad shoveled the driveway so he could get the car out when the snowplows came. We dug tunnels and secret rooms under the snow. It was so high, boys and girls. Like, that picture is not an exaggeration. By day 4, the plows still hadn't come. I wondered if we'd ever see grass again. I'm reading this book from school, but I know I have a picture at home of my brother and I on that snowdrift that was as high as our car, and I am going to take a picture of it. It's probably kind of embarrassing with my Dorothy Hamill haircut from 1978, but I want to show you. I do want to show you that I really lived through the blizzard of 78. Inside, things got tense as our food started to run out. I knew we couldn't survive much longer on cocoa made with water. But how can they get to the store? Look, Dad was able to shovel out this much right here. That's really not going to get them far. On day 5, I realized it was up to me to take action. I was the only one who had memorized their survival guide. I was the only one who knew what equipment was required. Wow, they got out of school on Monday. Now it's Friday. And I remember being out of school for many, many days. It was actually, I think, a couple weeks because it tagged into February vacation. So we had all of the days off for the state of the emergency, plus then it went into February vacation. I was the only one light enough to walk on top of the snow. On day 6, I made a list. I prepared the sled. Then I set off. Oh my goodness, this is one of those pages that opens up. I can't wait to see this page. My usual landmarks were covered by snowdrifts, but I managed to check in with the neighbors on my long journey. He's asking his neighbor what he needs. Oh my goodness, and guess what he needs? He needs cat food. He needs cat food. Oh my goodness. Oh, one neighbor needs coffee. One neighbor needs peanut butter. And now I'm going to back it up so you can see. The little boy is going through the entire neighborhood. He's going through the entire, this is so long, I have to move. He's going through the entire neighborhood asking friends and neighbors what they want. And it's taken him a little bit of time to get to the market. He finally arrives at Bill's Market. At last, I reached the store. I was tired, hungry, and chilled to the bone, but I couldn't think about myself. I was on a mission. And the store clerk says, "Are you going to carry all of this by yourself?" "Yes, sir. I've got my sled." On the return trip, I raced to drop off the groceries before the sun went down. grateful smiles and cheers gave me the energy I needed to make it back home. Meow. That night, we had hot cocoa made with milk, and it had never tasted better. But there was something else we still needed. Now, I want to make sure you don't miss this page either, because this is when he was arriving home. Okay. And now he's at home with his family, drinking the hot cocoa by the fire. But there was something else we still needed. Snow plows! Oh my goodness, we're going to need snow plows for this storm too. It looked as though we would see civilization again after all. Now here come the snow plows on Sunday. Guess we'll have to go back to school tomorrow. And all of the people around are so happy to see those snow plows. Just to be able to get your car out and go and get some groceries or help a friend or an elderly parent. It was a very, very tricky time. But being the age that I was, it was just fun. It was just fun. And it says on the final page, we had survived the blizzard. And I remember there were even t-shirts made. There were t-shirts made that said, I survived the blizzard of 78. And it was on Monday, February 6th, 1978. New England experienced one of the biggest snowstorms in history. It snowed for 2 days, and by the time it stopped, parts of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Connecticut were buried under 40 inches of snow. I hope you enjoyed Blizzard. I hope you survive the blizzard of 2022. I hope you have some hot cocoa and you get out in the snow and you enjoy it and count this as 12 minutes of reading. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.